me feeling like I'm Akademiks.
The freak off in the federal charges that Diddy caught on the Chris Cuomo show. Let's watch that.
About what you think and feel about Sean Diddy Combs and any allegations against him, given your history of animosity with him.
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you and nobody else to get nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, and I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of victims involved in it, and whatever affects them affects their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true, what's not true. But the truth part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
But for it being happy and proud and say, what do people think? That's irrelevant.
So, Suge.
It's just like I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got some negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you I'm free more than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about TMZ, but that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure, that Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with at the top. You starting with the top. Clive Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, he went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy. Let's think about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison that's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand. What tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do you think they show?
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I want no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive or somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. But they used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They used to take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second, Suge.
You just look. All you got to do is
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those.
Yo, Chad, did I just miss something? What the fuck is he talking about?
Phone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording for you.
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I want no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right? And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive or somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. But they used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They used to take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood.
Yo,
so
stop
everybody
it.
want to go.
Yo, stop it. Yo, stop it. Wait, they put a boiled egg up somebody's ass? And I guess, like, what? And if the egg break, that means you're not ready, which means your booty's too tight. You ain't get enough dick. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, no fucking way.
Act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second, Suge.
You just look.
Suge,
all you got to do is
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those butt naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry. Not for the people who don't get in. So, everybody, you got to look at it like this. You see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man. And it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth fix and lips fix and nose fix, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about richer people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at it real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay, and I agree with that, but I wonder if, what do y'all think, Chad? I think a lot of people aren't defending Diddy because, put it like this, let's say you've been to a Diddy party, or let's say you and Diddy, I don't know, had a consensual, non-drugged, I don't know, freaky little foursome. You had sex with one girl, he had sex with one girl, he didn't fuck you, or just whatever little they have. Would you speak up? Like, you wouldn't speak up, right? Because there's too many allegations against him, number one, right? There's too many other people. And there's probably actually maybe in the mix of all the people who are accusing an actual victim. So when you speak up, it's like you could vouch for maybe your experience, right? Your experience with him, but you can't vouch for, and by the way, nobody wants to hear your experience, right? Because if your experience don't got nothing to do with any of the allegations, shut the fuck up. So maybe that's why people aren't speaking up. Or maybe people are like, nah, this nigga guilty. I don't know. You guys can be the judge.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Hey, I like to say this too real quick. You got a woman that works for you is really incredible. You don't find too many people.
I thought you were about to implicate her in the investigation. I'm just glad you're not implicating Dusty in the investigation, Suge, because I can't take that.
She's not in the investigation.
All right,
but what I want to do for her is, I got to do this for her, but I want to turn her on to this clothing line called Girls Mondays to Sunday. Girl Monday to Sunday. And I'm definitely going to look out for her because I buy a lot of shit for a lot of people from that place. But look, what I was basically trying to say is this. I respect your show and respect what you're doing, but most important thing is there's got to be a solution. Because this has been going on in the industry for a whole bunch of years, for decades. And at the same time, you know, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history will constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience, Suge. You said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about abusive situations, you know, hurt people, that someone was sexually abused, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was sexually abused and he now sexually abuses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clive Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got.
Yo, Acho Bun says, I know. He said, I know Suge Knight was proud that the egg didn't fit in his butt. Yo, well, that's what they should have asked. Yo, whose ass didn't fit it?
The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. But I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling or dead for the truth come out.
Do you believe
I think the truth needs to be...
Do you believe that Diddy is in danger in prison? And do you have advice for him based on what you just said?
Well, the first advice I have, I don't never want to say he's in danger, and neither should he say that. Because once he gets to the point where they feel he's going to be suicidal to himself, harmful to himself, once they put him on suicide watch, you have the rights to nothing. No socks, no drawers, no T-shirt, no blanket, no sheets. You asshole naked in a cell as a crazy man. So he definitely don't want to do that. And the other advice I would tell him, maybe he should get on the Jewish diet. Because the kosher meals is way better than the food somebody else is making for you. At least they're going to come hot. They're going to come sealed, and you got to be the one to open them. That's very important.
What about people trying to hurt him?
Go to jail. I mean, one of the things is this. I don't care who you are. Prison and jail is a negative environment. If somebody can do something to them and get a name for themselves, they're going to actually do it. Or they can do whatever they feel they got to do to prove themselves. But we also got to learn. We got to learn from our mistakes. Everything don't have to be a mistake. You got to better yourself. But we all know what we sign up for in life. So if I sign up to be a football player, I knew I'm going to get hit and I'm going to hurt some motherfuckers too. I signed up to be in the music business and the entertainment business. If you fight for right and being a black man, there's certain things you got to look at for the challenges. If they can't take the money from you, they take you from the money by putting you in prison. That's a fact. In Puffy's situation, he should go and get his time out the way. Not no life sentence. If he can get a lesser time, he should jump on it because he had a great run. I'm in prison right now. I had a great run. So I don't go mad. I don't wake up mad. I've been locked up for 10 years, and I ain't had a bad day yet.
Damn.
And it's a lot of things we can do to help each other, and it's never too late for help. God bless us to have a voice. Let's use our voice. I had told Puffy a while back. I told TD Jakes a while back. Shit, come on, collect calls. We can politic. Because one thing for certain, one thing for sure, he's just not going to walk away with one scratch on it.
Do you think that Diddy?
He can do so.
Do you think Diddy knows enough that it's a very delicate balance that maybe investigators will want to know these other names and greatly reduce his exposure to criminality to time versus what people would do to keep him quiet?
Number one, I've been knowing him a long time, and we was friends. We're not enemies, but we were friends. He's not a dummy, so he's smart enough to work his magic. On top of that, this man right here, he been involved with the FBI and most of his career. It's not like he don't have no moves. So I don't think nobody should just count him out. I don't think he gonna lay down and just crawl in the corner and die. He probably going through a lot of shit right now because he probably going through a lot of withdrawals for the drugs. But the industry got him on drugs. And see, they do these things to take control. They're not doing, there's nothing wrong with being gay. If you choose to be gay, that's your preference. But they doing this to people for control. It's a power situation.
Suge.
And they've been having the power of the, yes.
I appreciate your perspective on this.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. We've heard Clive Davis name a lot, right? Well, I think we watched a video on this before. You know what I did look up and I saw? Ironically, when he named the executives, he named also Jimmy Iovine. And I forgot that Jimmy Iovine was actually sued. So Jimmy got sued, but he settled his shit immediately. Yeah, his shit went under the radar. Yeah, and the person dropped the suit. Now, this was done really professionally, right? This was done really professionally. Number one, it was done by the same lawsuit as Cassie. So it was done by, I believe, what's the name of the lawsuit? Doug something. Yeah, right here. Here's a lawsuit. Yeah, this was a notice of this continuance. Yeah, Wigdor. Yeah, this Wigdor law firm. I think that was the same one as Cassie, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Douglas Wigdor. Yeah. Yeah, the matter was resolved. Yeah, so shit, he learned from Diddy. He said, fuck that. He said, shorty, just take this bread and get the fuck on out of here. Which kind of works in his case because the woman's a Jane Doe. So we don't know who the woman is. Also, he's not as famous as Diddy. You know? But he kind of got out of here with it. He's the guy who ran Interscope for a long time. Then when the Beats by Dre deal happened, he went over to Apple. Then he left Apple. But he got up on out of there, man. I haven't seen no lawsuits that mentioned Clive Davis, though. Clive Davis, Diddy. Diddy reveals how what the fuck? We keep hearing that if Diddy could offer up this guy, he could save himself.
You know, began to make its way out there was you were talking about your personal life, your kind of discovery of yourself and your bisexuality, and that was something that you had never discussed publicly before, and it was an important part of
so this guy's bisexual
book, and it made a big impact. I wonder if you could say a little bit about, we've heard so many stories just here tonight.
Not this guy, but like Clive Davis is bisexual. You're going to see him in a second.
The book very easily could just have been exclusively devoted to music and really had nothing about your personal life in it. Well, what was it that made you feel that it was important, to share elements of your background from Brooklyn right up into...
Evening. It became relevant to point out that other than you, Anthony, with whom I collaborated with for this book from the very beginning, the publisher knew nothing about this. This was not in the treatment. This was not in the presentation.
It was very specifically not in the proposal to sell the book.
It was not in the proposal. So that nobody who bid on this book...
The editor of the book had no idea that it would be in there.
No, this was not trying to get...
All right, let me just speed this up. Sorry, John.
My focus right now is Sean Combs because he's a trafficker. Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, Clive Davis.
Rumor has it, allegedly, Diddy got on his knees for Clive Davis in 1994.
He got a boss too, and his boss name is Clive Davis. Clive run him. Diddy don't run himself.
Some people question how Diddy became so evil. Well, it turns out he's just like his mentor, Clive Davis. This creepy man taught Diddy everything he knows, how to use people, take advantage of their body, and dispose of them when they aren't worth any more money. Clive Davis is a sick man, and we are exposing him in this video. So let's...
Bruv, we back this up, pause. What the fuck?
But he got a boss.
Producer Clive Davis has been caught up in quite the mix. While it started out as just rumors, the cat's finally out of the bag about how Clive has dated Diddy for over...
Am I buffering?
For 5 years. Diddy is widely recognized as one of the most accomplished record producers and label owners in the music industry, having established Bad Boy Records, which has been home to high-profile artists such as the notorious Big and Usher. However, there is a curious question about how his company achieved such rapid success. The musician Jaguar Wright is discussing Diddy's influence on the music industry and his considerable wealth.
Puff be moving niggas around, But he got that catalog. He got that catalog, and he's been making money off of it, and it bought that big old mansion down the street from Rape Central.
What was the path that led a 23-year-old rising star to the pinnacle of the music industry in such a short period? Perhaps the answer lies in his close association with a heavyweight figure, Clive Davis. Although Clive Davis has gained fame for his music productions, he is currently the subject of discussions regarding his romantic pursuits. Following 2 marriages and subsequent divorces, Clive embarked on a journey of self-exploration to determine if he could be attracted to men as well.
I opened up myself after the failure of my second marriage, never having had anything with a man, to see, could I be attracted to the person and not the gender?
As a result of this introspection, Clive came to the realization that his sexual orientation was not entirely heterosexual, contrary to what he had believed for the first 50 years of his life.
And I did find that I could be attracted to a man, while I still am very attracted to a woman.
Following this revelation, Clive made the decision to pursue a relationship with a man, feeling that this was the appropriate time in his life to do so.
Then, in 1990, he entered into a monogamous relationship with an unnamed male doctor. That relationship ended in 2004.
Clive says he has never been ashamed to admit his attraction to men. I never felt shame, no, I felt puzzled. The subject of bisexuality really needs much more discussion. It's a status that does exist. Subsequently, Clive entered into a committed relationship with another man, which continues to this day. After years of confusion, it has now been confirmed that the identity of Clive's partner is none other than Diddy.
P. Diddy, known as Puff Daddy, known as Sean Combs. Allegedly in 1994, Sean Combs requested doing sexual favors for Clive Davis so that Bad Boy Records could be what it is.
Rumors surrounding the circumstances of Diddy's music career have persisted for years. However, it is now evident that the two were romantically involved for a period of 5 years. While Clive has acknowledged that his partner accompanies him to events and travels with him, he has declined to disclose his name. Nevertheless, it has become increasingly apparent that Diddy is the artist most frequently seen by Clive's side at events. Merely attending the same events may not be definitive proof, but the fact that both Clive and Diddy are openly gay and frequently seen together at social gatherings strongly suggests that there is a significant connection between them. The close bond between Diddy and Clive has been well established over the—
Yo, I'm still wondering why we ain't hear about Diddy fucking none of these dudes here, bro. Like, there's not one credible thing about Diddy fucking a guy. But and again, it's been a long rumor that he is bisexual, but we're not hearing the actual allegation.
years. During this time, Clive has been in a committed relationship with a man, while Diddy has faced accusations of being closeted. Given these circumstances, the possibility of a romantic connection between the two is quite plausible. Furthermore, Clive has been open about his sexuality and relationships, yet he has never denied these rumors, further strengthening their validity. Diddy has remained silent on the matter as well. Diddy crossed paths with Clive when he was a 23-year-old aspiring artist looking to break into the cutthroat music industry. However, his hip-hop concepts managed to impress the legendary Clive, who was searching for a performer who could truly connect with the public. Clive has spoken about their initial encounter, stating that he found precisely what he was seeking in Diddy. Puffy was 23 years old and I knew the artists that I had, Aretha, Dion, Whitney, was one kind of music. Davis says, LaFace ushered in blue-collared R&B at its height. But, sensing the hip-hop revolution, both La and I agreed that we could use someone really attuned to the street. You gotta know what you can do for yourself, and you gotta know when you need to look to other people. During that period, Diddy was employed under Andre Hall at Uptown Records. However, meeting Clive Davis proved to be a pivotal moment in his career, as he was able to make a lasting impression on the music mogul with his words, as Clive himself recounts. When I met with Puffy, he articulated that hip-hop should be part of the top 40 mainstream, and that the business would change in the future. And I said, what have you got to illustrate that point? And he played me
Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business
facility, and I'm going to do everything that I can to move his case as quickly as possible.
Now, Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, acknowledged that there will be a lot of electronic evidence that he will have to go through.
I understand that the government has a great amount of electronic devices that they have to download and provide to me, but everything's on the government's timetable, nothing's on the defendant's timetable, and they're going to have to accommodate me and him and give us a quick trial, and I'm going to be pushing for that. His resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to.
The participants in the sex acts. Do you see the feds going through those videos and identifying the people, her, and saying, look,
turn in a very different direction? But even if you did, I can't imagine any scenario where Diddy gets off with little to no time because of the just egregious nature of these charges. I mean, we've all seen the video of Diddy beating the different ways Diddy controlled the participants or the victims in these.
I feel like we're talking Clive Clive Davis into existence. Like it's like a reach. And I clearly know some people will say, well, some of the reach is about Diddy's behavior led to this indictment, which clearly there's some substantive proof here. But I think everyone wants to believe that, he has this mountain of evidence on, these other guys. And I also want to think, I thought about this when I was off stream. I said, the questions that no one's asking is that the videotapes that they recovered, or if Diddy was keeping videotapes that was possibly used as blackmail, those people on those videotapes had to be identified. And they had to be approached, probably. And maybe if some of them were co-conspirators or complicit, say people more powerful, for those people not to be named, they would have to essentially almost do a proffer with the government to flip on Diddy. You get what I'm saying? It's like they're not going to see Clive Davis or some other people on tape doing some of the same stuff that they're accusing Diddy of doing and not charge them. So it's like either it's just a bunch of victims on the tape, but if he has tapes that are incriminating that could, showcase other people more powerful doing crimes that would be any of the sort of what we think that he's being accused of, those people are either going to have to show up in court and testify against him, right? Or those people are going to be eventually charged. And here's the thing too. If I'm Diddy's lawyers, whenever I get the discovery, I would then make that a point. Hey, y'all are charging him for these sexual acts. Well, why is Clive Davis not charged? I'm making this up. Like, why is Clive Davis not charged if he's in this video that you're using as evidence? He's involved in the act. So I think that goes both ways, right? So it's like we're gonna have to ask the questions about if everyone believes, because this is the conspiracy theory, that Diddy has all these tapes on powerful people that he might use to embarrass him or he might use to get himself out of trouble, and they really raided the house to get the tapes to protect these guys. Is like, well, Diddy's lawyer is going to make a point why them niggas not charged. Remember, hey, listen, the ship's coming down. You got to take everybody with you, right? Yo, they on the tapes with me too. Why they not charged? So that's one. And the prosecutor is probably going to be like, yo, these guys going to have to testify against you or we're definitely charging them, even if they're just on one tape. So, I don't know.
Sex acts. And obviously, one way could be blackmail or extortion by having the videos, but the other could be just brute force, violence, and intimidation. I think that's what the AR-15s were there for.
Do you expect more to come out of this? Damian Williams said, we're not done. This is ongoing. And I think a lot of people maybe expected more out of the indictment than the 3 counts. I mean, they're incredibly serious, but we're talking about one victim in this indictment. We're talking about a RICO charge and then the transportation to engage in prostitution charge. So do you expect a superseding indictment with more charges against Sean Combs? And
now I see Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace was talking about this shit. I remember everybody used to be watching Nancy Grace.
Breaking news tonight. Diddy boo-hoo.
So what the fuck?
Sean Puffy Combs behind bars. What is his life like? This as Diddy whines, trying to get transferred to another, more cushy jail. This as charges seemingly mount. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us.
Bail denied a second time for disgraced rapper Sean Puffy Combs after his shocking arrest in a luxury Manhattan hotel.
What are we learning about Diddy, Sean Combs' life behind bars? Listen.
While initial reports said Sean Combs is housed in the special housing unit at the Metropolitan Detention Center, we now know the music mogul is on suicide watch. Guards check on Combs on the hour every hour to ensure the rapper has made no attempts to harm himself. The extra monitoring is reportedly a standard practice at the jail for new, high-profile inmates and not the result of Combs' psychological exam at intake. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo claims his client is strong, healthy, confident, and focused on his defense after spending 6 hours with Combs at MDC after bail is denied.
So let me understand what's happening. Is it true that Sean Combs, aka Diddy, has been placed in a suicide watch ward when he is not really suicidal? Joining me in All-Star Panel to make sense of what we're hearing right now, and joining me on the scene, CrimeOnline.com investigative reporter Angelica Martinez. Angelica, thank you for being with us. What do we know about the so-called suicide ward?
Yes, Nancy. So according to some reports, Sean Puffy Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Brother Love, has allegedly been placed on suicide watch, and he is being held behind me in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. The suicide watch, as we heard, is usually a standard practice for new inmates as they are being taken into the detention facility. But his lawyers say that...
Put her up. Angelica Martinez, did you actually just say that all new inmates go to the medical ward? Did you say that? Because that's not true. I think it's just Diddy is on the medical ward.
So that is allegedly where Sean Puffy Combs is currently being held, as far as we know. But again, I want to highlight that his attorney said that P. Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, is strong and healthy and focusing on preparing his defense. So reports are a little mixed on that. But yes, he's currently being held in the MDC, which is right behind me, as we know. And we have a former warden, Cameron Lindsay, who is actually on record as saying that Diddy poses as a very attractive target for other inmates in the MDC, saying, quote, to deliver a hit on him would be considered a badge of honor, end quote. So Diddy is in quite a hairy situation, whether he is on suicide watch or just surrounded by other inmates. Doesn't seem like it'll be going too well for him inside the MDC anytime soon.
Joining me at the MDC Metropolitan.
All right, man. Enough, bro. Enough. Okay. I do want to respond to something real quick, man. Yo, the K-Bots, here's our 5 minutes so y'all can hit record again and make y'all life go on. Because I realize y'all King don't respond to y'all. Drake don't give a fuck about y'all. But Daddy Ack is here to give you some other shit to retweet. So the K-Bots...